Ever since humankind began recording the events of our history, there have been prophecies foretold of the end of our civilization. Armageddon is by now a very familiar term, although it takes various different forms depending on who you're speaking to. Across scientific predictions, cultural beliefs, and religious texts, we have ideas on great battles to end time, hellish infernos enveloping our world, cosmic disasters caused by errant asteroids, total destruction by wayward black holes, and devastating ruin triggered by war. The end of the world has many different forms. But have you ever considered what the true weight of knowledge would be if you knew what the future had in store? In a hypothetical reality where you're the only person on Earth who knows the end for all of us, you're presented with an incredible and unparalleled set of moral dilemmas. Of course, the first major decision you'd have to make is whether or not to share your end-of-the-world knowledge with anyone else, or rather to keep it to yourself. It's a choice that would guide most of the rest of your life. Say you opted to reveal what you knew, to either a select few people or the world as a whole. No doubt there'd be skepticism at first, maybe lots of it, and with good reason. How many times in history has someone claimed divine knowledge that the world is coming to an end, only for it to never happen? These kinds of false apocalypse stories have gotten more and more common in recent times, too. But here, you really would know that the end was nigh. You'd know that you weren't mistaken or trying to pull a hoax. So you'd have to battle against the likely disdain that would be thrown your way, first of all. And that could take all your time and energy without you ever managing to truly convince anyone that what you're saying really is true. Meanwhile, facing such incredible pressure, you'd have to maintain extreme confidence in what you knew as well. With so many surrounding voices writing you off as just another doomsday peddler, it would perhaps be easy to begin doubting yourself. But such would be your position, with an almost godlike messianic role. It could be crucial for you to maintain your message. With the knowledge of the end of the world, you'll have been given great power, but of course, with that comes great responsibility. And if nothing else, the loneliness of your heightened position might easily lead you into shirking your duty and hiding your knowledge for your own sake. Your path might lead in another direction, though, where you find ardent believers in your story, which puts you in a very different position. There'd now be masses of people following your words and actions. Fame isn't for everyone, but what about global stardom as an all-seeing envisioner of worldwide death? It doesn't really get much more high profile than that. It's a power that many might not be comfortable with, but also one that could quickly be used unwisely or badly. It would be a huge and unexpected burden to bear, and something no one would be capable of preparing for. You might well be talked of as a prophet, but being placed on such a high pedestal can also come at a cost. History shows that when people are thrust into positions of power, they can sometimes lose sight of what it was that brought them there in the first place. They become swept up in the adoration, respect, or fear and mystery that surrounds them. And so, if your intent was to save the world rather than just inform people of its imminent ending, then keeping a level head would be vital. Our survival instincts are, well, instinctual, but yours would be under incredible stress. You and only you truly know that the world is going to end. Your followers are only ever choosing to have faith in you. Remaining calm would certainly be difficult. But of course, there is another option from the beginning. Upon having your apocalyptic epiphany and absorbing that unforgettable knowledge of the end times, perhaps it would be better to conceal the future from everyone else, to keep quiet, allow everyone else's lives to carry on regardless, and hide what you know to be coming. You don't even tell your friends and family if you take this other road. By concealing what you know, the burden on your back probably wouldn't lighten all that much, but it might shift. You'd no longer have to manage masses of people, deniers or believers, which is one huge pressure lifted, but you would have to tackle the inner turmoil that would undoubtedly unfold. You alone would know that time is ticking for everyone you meet. Children, adults, humans, animals, people stressed at work, couples engaged to be married, dreamers saving up to travel, hard workers dedicated to their careers. You'd know that life was coming to a close for everyone, no matter who they were or what their hopes, beliefs, or worries are. You'd know that oceans, forests, deserts, even the very sky itself would soon be no more. Such incredible, unimaginable knowledge would again almost certainly lead to a sense of isolation. You'd know something the rest of the world doesn't, and that could be a very lonely place. Gradually, more than just doubting the end of the world itself, you might start to question your own mind and sanity. Why me would likely be the #1 question you'd forever ask yourself. You'd have a constant barrage of thoughts to contend with about what's to come, and no one with which you could possibly share. It has the potential to quickly be totally overwhelming, leading to an anxious, depressed, and paranoid state, insomnia to steal even sleep from you, and hopelessness above all. Naturally, not everyone would react in the same way, but the weight of it all could certainly wear a person down. Yet even if you did tell no one what you knew, and even if you were wrestling with all that entails, an instinct to survive would still be there. It's just that now you'd either have to find a solution on your own, or you'd need to simply accept the inevitable. The first option seems as though it should be impossible, because how could one person survive the end of the world? The second option, acceptance, might feel like giving up, but perhaps there's some relief to be found in both. Fight against the apocalypse and you'll always have hope. Refuse to fight anymore, and you might find some level of peace and closure. Clearly, this is an entirely hypothetical scenario, but it does still tap into some genuine concerns and traits of humankind. For one, end-of-the-world knowledge could broadly lead you to be much more appreciative of the life that's around you, the people, experiences, and connections that you encounter all the time. Maybe you have regrets about how you once treated someone and you wished you'd apologized. Or maybe you never told your best friend how much they mean to you. These types of situations are common, and feelings often go unsaid. But then we might grow to regret that after someone is gone. Knowing that the entire world is about to end, though, might at least give you a reason to say what's never been said. Finally, there's a sense of fate versus free will running throughout this concept too. If you knew about the end times, is your decision to either spread the word or keep quiet a point of destiny? Or is there a chance to change the outcome based on what you choose? If you say nothing but keep fighting, or say nothing and succumb, is that all part of a higher plan? Or is the future really in your own hands? What would you do in this situation? Warn everyone or withhold the information? Try to fight or try to forget? It's a position of great power, but also of endless problems. Because that's what would happen if you were the only person who knew that the world